The Toronto Maple Leafs finished dead last in the NHL last season. You're probably thinking, man, that season was a failure. Well, you're wrong. Surprisingly, this hat is signed by Cabby Richards, who also has, I think, the smallest signature in the history of celebrities. But enough about that. I'm here to tell you why, if you thought the Maple Leaf season was a failure, you are wrong. Now, yes, the Maple Leafs did finish with only 69 points, which was good for dead last in the NHL, but there were quite a few bright spots that the Leafs fans need to notice. One of the positives to come out of this season was that the Leafs were 6th in shots per game. Now, they weren't scoring because of lack of trying. They weren't scoring because they had no skill. The Leafs also had the 13th best penalty kill unit in the entire National Hockey League, and for a dead last team, that's pretty good. Most of the good things that happened this season should be credited to two men and the person who brought them to Toronto. 2 years ago, the head coach of the Maple Leafs was Randy Carlyle, and the GM was Dave Nonis. Fast forward to present day, the coach is Mike Babcock, unarguably maybe the greatest coach in the NHL, and the GM is probably the most experienced man in hockey, Lou Lamoriello. Brandon Shanahan. Just amazing job getting those two guys to come to Toronto. But enough about last season. Let's talk about the main focus of this video, which is what are they going to do this offseason? And the offseason so far could not have started better. They won the NHL draft lottery. They went in with the best odds of winning it at 20%, which still isn't that high. And they have the chance to pick Austin Matthews first overall on June 24th, the date of the draft. He already looks pretty good in blue and white, wouldn't you agree? But I'm not going to sit here and talk on and on about Austin Matthews coming to Toronto because you know what? I already did that. It was in another video, so if you haven't seen that video, you should go check it out. I will tell you this. It'd be damn near impossible to talk about the Maple Leafs offseason plan and not talk about the possibility of Steven Stamkos. Since the beginning of the season, Steven Stamkos has been rumored to being interested in coming to Toronto this offseason where he is a free agent. And then all those rumors went boom when Steven Stamkos liked a tweet sent out by TSN where it talked about maybe Stamkos coming to Toronto in the offseason. But he did quickly unlike it, like that's going to make a difference. Him and Tampa Bay have seemed to have a shaky relationship all season long, and I know they're in the playoffs right now, so they're probably not majorly thinking about Stamkos, but they should be, because that's a top 5 centerman in the NHL right now, and you're going to let him walk for possibly nothing. But I got to be a little bit realistic here. Now, the odds of Stamkos coming to Toronto are higher maybe than some other teams, but that doesn't mean he's going to come here. We're quite not ready to win yet, and maybe he wants to win right now. There will be plenty of teams interested in his services if he becomes a free agent this summer, which I would believe he is. So I don't want to put all our eggs in one basket. Stamkos will cost us roughly about maybe $10 million, maybe a little bit more. You look at the free agent group right now. If we don't get Stamkos, we could go out and we could say, okay, Michael Bodker, we can give you $5 million, and maybe Lucic. Nah, Lucic won't come. Maybe Ladd, maybe $6 million for Ladd if he decided to come, or who knows? The free agent class this summer is amazing. Maybe if we need some defensive help, hey, Keith Yandel, just come over here. According to CapFriendly.com, the Maple Leafs have about $10.715 million in cap space this summer, and that doesn't even include Nathan Horton, most likely undoubtedly being put on the long-term injury reserve for another season because of his back problems, freeing up another $6 million, and some weird thing in Jared Cowan's contract saying that if we buy him out, which the Maple Leafs are speculated to be doing, we actually gain more cap space from doing that. I'll take it. So what I'm saying is, even if we don't get Steven Stamkos, the possibilities for free agents this summer are endless. There are so many good ones out there. Don't cry if we don't get Stamkos, because Austin Matthews is going to be a first-line center very soon. The Maple Leafs also need to be patient with their young players. They have quite a few down there, though, who are ready to make the jump to the NHL next season. I have been to a lot of Maple Leaf games in my life, but a buddy of mine and I went to a Marlies Game 7 game last week against the Albany Devils, and I gotta tell you, that was probably the most exciting game of hockey I've ever been to in my entire life. The crowd was electric. Every single call that was made, I was, no, yes. It was amazing to feel that electricity coming from a Toronto City hockey team, even if it wasn't the Maple Leafs, because they're the future of the Maple Leafs. Some names that might be ready to take the jump to the NHL next season include William Nylander, Nikita Soshnikov, Zach Hyman. Oh yeah, and there's this one guy named Mitch Marner who is absolutely tearing up the Memorial Cup right now. He has 9 points in the first 2 games, and he had like 40 plus points in the 18 games he played in the OHL playoffs. This kid, maybe he's strength wise not ready for the NHL next season, but he can't play in the AHL, and he's just dominated junior hockey this season. You cannot bring him back to junior hockey. He's not going to learn anything there. He's mastered the league. Ready to take the jump to the NHL next season include William Nylander, Nikita Soshnikov, Zach Hyman. Oh yeah, and there's this one guy named Mitch Marner who is absolutely tearing up the Memorial Cup right now. He has 9 points in the first 2 games, and he had like 40 plus points in the 18 games he played in the OHL playoffs. This kid, maybe he's strength wise not ready for the NHL next season, but he can't play in the AHL, and he's just dominated junior hockey this season. You cannot bring him back to junior hockey. He's not going to learn anything there. He's mastered the league. The key to the Maple Leafs offseason this summer is kind of what I've been trying to sum up through everything I've been saying so far, and that is that you have to be patient and you have to be aggressive, and you got to pick when to do both. You got to be patient at the right times, maybe hold off on a trade that might involve a young player who might emerge next season. But at the same time, you have one of the best free agent classes in a long time and one of the best players to ever hit the market in maybe 20 so years. And he's a Toronto-born kid. So obviously the temptation to go out there and sign him is huge. And I think he's a perfect fit. But you don't want to overpay for him and ruin the future of this team. You need to sign him if the price is right. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. Like the video please, it means a lot to me. Also subscribe. You can email me anything you want, any questions, comments, requests, anything you'd like at thehockeylords@gmail.com, link down below. And please like my Facebook page. It's all about hockey. I write as often as I can. I'll also be doing an article a day along with these videos for every team, so they'll be up on the Facebook page. The link to that is also down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video for another team. See ya.